Yes, sir.
What's up?
We got a woot woot.
Woot woot. Woot woot from a Nate. I love you frantically opening sugar in order to get ready for this podcast. Should have seen him.
What do you mean?
Literally like, I gotta get this open.
What do you want to do it in the middle of the show? Try and rip it open? Let's go, Ed. Let's go.
Freaking opening a beer.
Is that what you're drinking?
Oh, I shouldn't have told anybody. It's really clear. It's a really light beer.
Light.
Very light.
Well, welcome to the Candid Athletic Training Podcast. That's Kevin.
I'm Chad. He's Chad.
No.
Oh.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Anyway, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chad.
This is an athletic training podcast.
It's a fun athletic training podcast.
On occasion.
No. This is episode 106.
It is 106. What does 106 remind you of?
The local country radio station.
Yeah, that's all it is.
106 FM.
I might have had a class in room 106 in high school. For some reason, I'm seeing 106 on a door.
Uh-oh, the big dog.
Big dog.
Rick Cox is here.
Hey,
and Hannah's back for more.
Everybody, Rick Cox is here. Cheers to that. You're late, by the way. You're late.
Okay, anyways. Let's just let the people know. This is our third live stream. We are recording this. Is today the 11th?
Today is the 11th.
Monday night, the 11th. So if you're not a member and you're not on this live stream, you're not getting this till the 18th. So you're a week behind.
Sucker.
So think about it this way. $1 an episode will get you on the show with us, like all these fine people.
Yeah. $1 an episode. Maybe less.
Reminds me of those starving children.
Yes. For just $1.
If you have to choose.
You could feed an entire family in a starving nation. $1 a year.
Or you can treat yourself.
Or you could treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Join us. Have some fun. We got a fun episode for you tonight.
Rick, you don't need to be sorry anymore.
Yeah.
You're okay. You finally made it.
We're going to nerd out tonight. We got some Star Wars. We got some comic books.
This is back to the basics, baby.
To the roots.
Yeah.
Top 5 is from an athletic training student perspective.
Yeah, so it's not that fun.
No. We'll power through.
It is.
Everything we do has a little bit of relevance.
I don't know if I like where my microphone's at.
Just change it. Nobody's going to notice. Nobody's going to notice. It's week 3. We still are working the bugs out.
I made it too tight.
Yeah, that's not what she said. Sorry, yeah.
You keep going.
Anybody else? Okay, so here's what we did. Last week we had a fun show. Somewhere along the line we were talking about cell phones and landlines. So we put up on the social media, do you have a landline in your athletic training room? The social media, Candid_ATC. We're creeping up on 3,000 followers on Twitter.
Creeping on up.
Which is really fun. That's a kind of a cool number.
3K.
73% of you do have a landline in your athletic training room. Yeah. Which is that's probably about right.
I assume.
Do you use it? That's probably the next thing. Do you use your landline or just use your cell phone? Because I don't use the landline.
I don't know. Maybe you're running low on minutes on your phone.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's like saying, I got a typewriter in my athletic training room, but I'm going to send an email instead.
It is exactly like that.
When was the last time you used a typewriter?
Before
or like after the last time you used a landline?
Before. Okay. Before for sure.
Okay.
I think there's like like one of the word processors. Like those were like typewriters and then word processors and then computers came out. Mm-hmm. Do those count as a typewriter?
No,
'Cause it was
old
still
school, like click, click, click. I mean,
My grandma had one, and I used to just mess around on it.
sure.
So I was probably like 4 years old.
Wow.
It was actually really cool though.
3 decades ago.
Ching.
So we got, for the newborn, we got these ABC books. And it's like the AB, like they'll go through
Did Michael Jackson write it?
the Jackson 5. Good call. So it's like by category. So it'll be like baseball players, ABC. So A is for Hank Aaron. B is for, they won't put Barry Bonds in there, even though they should, whatever.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth, whatever.
Who's-
famous inventors.
Who's B? Bobby Bonilla?
No, B is for Babe Ruth.
Who's C?
Clemente, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, D is for DiMaggio. E is for probably Ernie Banks. It's not always
Clemente.
last names. It's always funny when you get to Q and X, they usually just, it's if they have that letter in the middle of the name.
Yeah.
So,
Or like there's an emphasis
Whoa,
on that
Nate.
syllable.
Nate, they still use typewriters at the last job. And Rich, the Kevin's mug is the same size as the one in the store. Yes.
This mug is in the store.
This mug is as well.
That's a different mug that's
Tiny,
also in the
tiny
store.
guy. Let's compare.
This is what I'm going to tell you.
Size matters, people.
This, it looks really small. It will hold 12 ounces of something, coffee or whatever.
Hold
of
on,
your choice.
20-second
But
20-second timeout, Kev.
take a time out.
The audio people that aren't members, you're not going
Oh,
to
you
get
don't
it.
get
So
this.
go to YouTube or become a member so you can see this.
I will say this though. There's 2 different sizes of this mug. There's like a 12 ounce and a 15 ounce. This is the 15 ounce. Like this is what you want. I don't even know why I put the 12 ounce on there because I'm assuming some people don't I don't know, just
You know
only
what?
live on coffee like I do.
Do you want to know what that totally reminds me of, Kev?
What?
FMK cooler sizes. And I said,
Yeah.
just get the 10-gallon and don't fill it up all the way. And everyone yelled at me. That's what it is. Just get the big cooler. And if you don't want that much in it, don't fill it up.
I would always fill that up.
Well, yeah, because you drink coffee and beer and stuff. But
Actually,
like,
no. You know what? Sometimes if you have a Keurig, you know that unless you got the fancy pods,
you got to
which
fit
I do, but
underneath.
you're only going to get 10 ounces in there, and then it's going to look weird.
But who's going to know? Just you?
Yeah, but it's still going to be weird.
All right.
Anything else?
Oh,
Intro-wise?
yes. We need to talk about the official sponsor of the show, Healthy Roster, www.healthyroster.com.
What?
Without them, none of this is possible.
No.
They are, when we do a friend or foe, they're our best friend.
Best friend.
Best friend, Healthy Roster.
Best friends forever.
So if you
Three
are
best friends
looking
that
for
anybody could
Hangover.
have. Yeah.
3 best friends that anyone could have, and we'll never, ever. Anyways, if you're in somebody just reached out on social media and tagged us. They were looking for an EMS, a new EMS.
Yeah.
And we cannot say enough good things about the folks at Healthy Roster.
Yeah.
We think they have a good quality product, which we use at my current facility. We switched over,
Good.
and it's been good.
I think I looked at that like little chain on social media, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what was cool is that other people were also tooting the horn of Healthy Roster.
Toot.
Toot toot toot. So clearly it's not just us talking about them. They're doing a really good job.
Yeah. I mean, you can talk to text. I mean, Nate's still stuck at typewriters, apparently, according to his comments.
You cannot talk to
Soap notes
typewriter.
on typewriters.
No talk to
You know, it'd be kind of
typewriter.
fun to take that out to the field, though, and do it.
Hold it.
Hold on, let me back up.
I just messed up.
Was that right or left?
That would be very not fun.
No.
And typewriters are heavy. Very heavy.
You need a cart. You need a gator just for your typewriter.
Yeah.
This show can go anywhere.
Typewriters,
I had no idea. we were gonna do
Superheroes.
that. Yeah.
athletic training, it's all the same.
Okay. I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Let's get into.
Let's do it.
We're gonna skip in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Very cool.
Where do you want to start?
I've got friend or foe written down at the top of
Okay.
mine. Is that what you have?
I mean, I have a friend or foe.
Okay, we're just
I
gonna
mean, we can just do it.
we'll do friend or foe.
Okay.
Wrapping up last week, we did supplies in your pocket. Supplies in your pocket.
Friend. That's my friend.
Yep, that's what the people said. Here we go. 70.
Make sure you block your face more.
79% said friend
Sure.
in the supplies in the pocket,
There's only one reason that it's a foe, and that's when you just keep bringing it home too much.
and you get the oversized gauze that don't fit in
Oversized
your
gauze.
pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight we're doing temp checks because
Temp checks.
COVID temp checks, screenings.
How many times do you think you've had a laser pointed at your freaking forehead
Some freaking
in
sharks.
the last, I don't know, 6 months?
At mine,
Yeah.
not nearly as many times as I've done it. It's give or receive. I'm a giver.
How many have you given then? How many lasers?
I swear
have
to
you
God,
given?
that's all I do all day. It's 70% of my job right now. I feel like I don't do any athletic training. Like, I couldn't even fold the towels today because every time I walked back, I had to bring the towels up to the front office because every time I walk away, I'm the only one there for a few hours this morning. And anytime anybody needs to go to practice or anything, I need to stop and take their temperature. And they come so staggered throughout the morning. So I cannot do any actual work. So I am
That's a
hard.
bummer.
I'm a hard foe here.
Okay.
And we had it up on social media, and there's some comments, and I know you agree with this because we've talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it prepping for this show. What are your thoughts?
Well, okay, so friend or foe. I think it's a foe. I think it exactly for the reason you just said. It's taking up more time than it's actually finding somebody that's sick. And granted, I'm sure there's somebody that's listening or watching that is said, no, you have 100-degree temperature, you need to go home. And hopefully that did prevent somebody else from getting sick, whether it's COVID or something else. My problem is, like, we could avoid this if, one, either we made our athletes check their temperature on their own, but then you can't really trust them. But two is just the idea that, like, if you have a temperature, you know it. Our body has literally evolved to tell us something's wrong. I don't feel good. And so therefore, that's the conversation that needs to be had right now. It doesn't, legalities and things like that, I do think there needs to be these screenings, but, like, for Christ's sake, like, to have to literally temperature check every single person that comes into a building, and one, the temperature check, you're not using a very accurate temperature check. You're not.
No, I don't. On the current,
not at all.
It's so bad.
Like, you're using the laser forehead one, and somebody just came in. It's Wisconsin. Somebody just literally came in from 20 degrees outside.
And
that
most
affects
of the
skin to
temperature,
forehead temperature.
I mean, I'm getting temperatures in the 94s and
Yeah.
the 95s. I'm like, well, you're dead,
Yeah.
but you don't have COVID.
Yeah.
So good for you.
It's totally a foe. I don't see this being a friend at all. Do you see this being a friend at all?
In theory, it's a friend.
I don't know if you can
It's
have a
friend
theoretical
you hate.
Can you have a theoretical friend?
It's a friend that
You got
won't go away.
Imaginary friend? Well, yeah.
it's like a roommate.
Shite.
It's a roommate.
Okay, I hear you. I mean, that's a jab. I mean, I'm kind of your roommate.
No,
Like-
not anymore. You used to be. You got your own keys.
I do.
You got your own door.
I do.
No, I understand. But again, it's common sense gone wrong.
Common sense has left planet Earth right now.
It's so, like, we've made everything so complicated in this country
So complicated.
that we can't just do basic stuff that makes sense. We had to make it way more complicated because we think we can reinvent the wheel better. Newsflash, we can't.
You can't. It's round and it rolls. Yes. So faux. How about faux?
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean,
We put it up. I put it
I
up
personally
today.
don't have to do temperature checks at all, so it's okay.
Oh my
Because
God.
I deal with adults,
Yeah.
and so therefore we put the onus on them, and then they have to check a box saying that they don't have a fever and that they don't have all the symptoms, and then they're
you can
allowed to be in.
You can operate in a one-on-one kind of situation.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're in group.
Correct.
We're in group.
100%.
Group play,
100%.
like soccer. We're in group play. I don't even know what that means. I'm just kidding.
So if you lose, you just kind of
Yeah.
keep playing. You keep playing though.
So yeah. Well, don't worry. You'll make it to the.
What if you lose
the knockout
every
stage?
day?
I already have. We did put this on social media today because of the live stream, we've had to kind of adjust this on the fly. We used to
Yeah.
talk about it and then put it up and then recap it, but we can't do that anymore. So I put Friend or Foe up today.
Did we get a lot of responses?
Yeah, we got almost about 200.
Oh, that's
And
a
it was
hell
from
of a lot of
earlier today.
responses.
Yeah. So temperature checks, Foe, 68%. So they agree with us. 2 out of 3 people agree with us.
Yeah.
And look, we understand if we can catch 1 or 2 people, that's great. But what we're saying is it's just an inefficient tool.
Yeah, and it's a foe then.
It's a
I'm not saying that like checking temperatures is not a accurate way to see if somebody's sick. It's just right now it's a freaking foe.
Yeah.
And it's getting in the way of everything else.
Yeah.
It's got to be a better way. I'm thinking somebody, I don't know who, but I'm sure there's a medical device company out there. Build one of those like, I mean, if there's like the eye scanners that you could like
Retinal
go
scanners.
into a bank vault with, right?
Mm-hmm.
There should be like just a quick like put your chin on this and it'll take your temperature and it'll tell you.
It's a surface touch. What
Yeah,
there should be, it should be like walking through.
You wipe it off like we're wiping off every other freaking thing right now.
I'd rather see like the airport where it takes your temperature as you walk through a gate.
I'll tell you this. I have traveled, so I've traveled.
In my life.
In the last
I know.
3 months.
You've gone to do some work. Yeah.
And I was in an airport that I needed to get some food. Like I'd been traveling for a few hours. I had not ate in a while. I needed some food because I knew I wasn't going to be
Kevin.
around food yet. So I went into this little like convenience store that so I walked through these, the typical like metal gates that you would, even like almost looked like I was getting on an amusement ride or something. Mm-hmm. So I go over and I'm looking at all like the potato chips and I grab a bag of potato chips and then I grab something else, a bag of cookies or protein bar or something, whatever. And I go, like, there's no employee in there. 0 employees. And I'm very confused. I go to the corner of the store because it had a screen and it just said, thank you for whatever. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? What?
Look at the comments. We got the smart people coming out. Ed and Dave. We got Hannah
Everybody
and Dave.
stop because everybody's on now. Ed's on and Dave Yeager's on. Everybody.
Didn't research.
This is
first
Dave
off,
Yeager.
Ed's coming at us with research already.
Shut up, Ed.
I haven't had enough sugar yet.
Pulse ox is better. Okay, you know what? Ed, yes. I would rather be like,
You can't tell
put
Ed
this,
to shut up and then just say, yeah,
Whatever.
I agree with you.
put this freaking thing on your finger and like, tell me what it says in 10 seconds. Like, but they cost like $13 or something. They're useful tools across the board. For training, everything. I'd rather have 20 of those and just like boom, 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 boom. Like the athlete's got to grab one, put it on their finger, and then come up to you and show you what it is. I think it's a great idea. Good for Ed. If you guys are doing that, good for you. Dave, NFL was using scanners for training camps. Well, if I had Dave money, no. Okay, listen. I'm in a freaking convenience store. I pick up a bag of chips. I legitimately didn't scan them or anything. I put my credit card No, I signed into, or no, I put my credit card onto this screen. I like tapped it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, I didn't get a receipt. I didn't get anything. And I just walked out, and somebody came up to me like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, it knows what you bought. So I looked up in the ceiling, and there were like 40 cameras in the ceiling, and it knew what I took. And so it knew how much to charge me, because it never told me, like, on the screen, you had one Miss Vicky's barbecue kettle chips, and like,
Jesus.
whatever. It literally just knew.
That's awesome.
Also scary.
Yeah, that's what I
very,
was
very
thinking.
freaking scary. If we can do that, we can use a camera to be like, nope, they got COVID. Like, we can. We're just not trying hard enough.
We'll get
Although
there.
I don't want that either. I don't want that.
We want it all to be done.
Because you know what that is? That's freaking Hydra in
Oh yeah,
Captain America
Winter
Civil War.
Soldier.
Or yeah.
Oh, it's all of
No,
them.
it's Winter Soldier when they scan and they were gonna take out 10 million people in the United States or something, based on like what their GPA was and
Yeah.
what they scored on this and this blah 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 blah.
It's number 2 on my Marvel list.
Behind Civil War, right?
Yeah, Civil War and then Winter Soldier.
Oh, I got all heated right there.
Good
Jesus.
for you, Captain America.
Who would have thought
Foreshadowing.
temperature checks would have got me all heated? We didn't even
I
talk
did.
once about doing them annually. I mean annually.
Annual
Wrong word.
checks.
Wrong word.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that was enough faux for one night. So, where are we going here, buddy?
Top 5.
Top 5. Kevin,
Yes.
we asked 100 athletic training students.
P.S. Love you, Dave.
We asked the students, the
Yes, you did.
ATS. What did we ask them? Name the sport that you're looking forward to covering the most.
Dave's right. Infrared thermography. He loves that shit. Look into it. He's talking about it. You should look into it.
Infrared.
Okay, sport you look forward to covering the most.
Yep, as an athletic training
As an
student.
athletic training student.
This is the ones they want. They think they're going to get the best experience with.
I don't know if that's true. Number 1,
That's
football. Number 2, basketball. Number 3, baseball. Number 4, soccer. Number 5, because it's my favorite, track and field.
You almost knocked that out of the park.
I bet track and field's not on there.
Correct. You hit 4 for 5
Everybody,
in order.
do you remember like when you were an athletic training student, everybody, maybe not you, but everybody wanted to cover basketball. At our school, basketball was like the sport because we didn't have football. Everybody wanted to cover basketball. And I was like, I don't think I do. I want to cover the other sports because I just feel like I was exposed to basketball my entire life.
That's how I felt.
I didn't know anything about soccer, to be honest, until I started working with the men's soccer team. And then, I mean, even down to
That was
just
because
like,
of Ox.
well, number 1, because of Ox. But then 2, like, I had never hung out with that many high-level, like, soccer players. And just seeing them practice and seeing what that took and, like, the intricacies of the game made me appreciate that even on TV, it's hard to see all these little things that, like, these little footwork things that they do.
High level soccer is
Holy cow.
it's incredible.
It's incredible. That being said, I'd rather play football.
Sure. Okay, so you got 4 out of 5. You did miss on the track and field. In fact, not a single track
What?
answer.
Not one.
Not one.
Not one athletic
Not
training
one.
student.
Not one
Listen,
hit. That's
you
all
know
we
what-
got is one goddamn hit.
One
Not-
goddamn.
no,
Oh my god.
not even
so good.
one.
Oh,
Okay, so here we go. Football was first place,
call.
35.
yep.
We had a tie for second place.
Speaking of football, though, the national championship's like on right now. I think. I don't know
That
if you
school
knew
that shall not be named.
No, we won't name it, but
And the other school,
yeah, I mean that other school. People don't like that school around here either. Very
Yeah.
much.
So if you're on this live
lot of-
stream, thank you
Yeah.
for
Thank you
hanging
for
out with us.
watching us. I mean, I think
There will be a replay of the football game,
absolutely
and we all know the outcome, anyways.
we do. We do.
Okay, 35 votes for football. 18 apiece for baseball and basketball. There was a tie.
Wow.
So surprising. 18 idiots out there.
18 idiots out
Baseball is the
Wow.
rotation you're looking for the most. Okay, 12 for the soccer.
there. Wow. Okay.
And then in fifth place with 6 responses, we had hockey.
Oh, nice.
Some hockey
I'll take that.
hockey people out there.
I will take that. I only got to cover hockey for like a week. So that I would have liked to cover hockey a little more.
So the only
Speaking of goals, that's one of my goals this year is to get out and play a little pond hockey.
Hannah and Dave, did you just become best friends?
Uh-oh.
It's like stepbrothers over here.
Wow.
Just became best friends.
Not only can they both quote any movie of all time, but
yeah.
they both don't
I'm
like
waiting for a response.
somebody.
Oh, everyone's out.
Oh, now Nate's jumping on the bandwagon.
Okay, so how about this? Somebody said the sport rotation they were looking forward to covering the most was cheer/spirit. So there's some schools out there where that's a dedicated assignment.
That's because at some schools there's some serious.
Probably down south.
yes.
What's the name of the show?
On
It
Netflix,
escapes
right?
me. Yeah, it escapes me.
It's
My
not,
wife loved it. Loved
not called
it.
Cheer.
She told me that we needed to do it as a fat or cover or no, maybe not a fat. She said we need to talk about it on the show
Yeah.
because she loved it that much. So you're looking it up?
I'm gonna look it up.
Netflix Cheer documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Google's for.
So that's So that was a fun one. Somebody said rugby. We don't have a lot of rugby up here.
True.
And then the other kind of interesting one to me, somebody said anything new. Just put me in a sport I haven't worked with before. And that is the honest to God truth for me. I wanted to experience all of it.
I think it's called Cheer. Cheer is coming up a lot. Like literally just Cheer.
Hannah's on point with her quotes.
As she would be.
Step Brothers. Did you just touch my drum set?
I don't think there's another one. I think it's called Cheer.
Okay. Anyways, volleyball got a couple responses. I actually think
I loved working volleyball.
I did too. I think that's a good rotation.
It was great.
I actually thinking about like sports that there's a lot of advantages to covering volleyball if you can get a volleyball gig.
A lot of advantages.
Lower
No
number
weather.
of athletes you can focus on. I mean, it's shoulders, elbows, ankles. I mean, it's full. I mean, there's some.
There's a lot of back stuff.
Yeah,
A lot of back stuff in the
it's
old
a
volleyball.
full body. Man, that's a good sport to cover.
And it
Anyways,
is. It's not an overwhelming amount of athletes.
which at some point that's got to be a career goal of mine is to not work with 80 athletes at one time.
I mean,
Is to see how good of an athletic trainer I can be
if
with a
that's what you
smaller roster.
if that's what you really want,
Why try and be average at this when I could be maybe slightly above average? Give myself a C plus by working with fewer athletes I could concentrate on.
I mean, do what you can,
I can't do much.
No,
All right.
not even with 15 athletes.
All right. Are you good with top
wh-
five?
Yeah, whatever. Where,
All right,
where do you want to go?
Let's go with, you know what? Let's hold off
Yeah.
on FMK because the person who gave us the suggestion is not even on the live stream yet.
Why not?
I don't know.
Do you think he's going to come on?
No?
If he's not going to be on here, I don't want. Maybe we won't talk about his FMK.
Well, we're going to. Okay, well, then let's do.
Ed, you're back to number one.
Let's do this.
Okay, what are we doing?
We're doing
I can't see
our
that.
fictional athletic trainer.
Oh, this is a tough one.
It is. So we're
very
gonna
tough
We're gonna
one.
nerd out for a few minutes here,
For more than a few.
especially for our friend Dave. We're gonna do some Mandalorian season 2.
yeah.
It's been long enough. If you haven't seen it, there's gonna be. I don't know if there's gonna be any spoilers or not.
Well,
there is, but
plain and simple, these two
had
characters are.
there's only 8 episodes. You couldn't get it in.
Well, I just finished it. I mean,
You finished it like 3 weeks ago.
maybe last week. I think it was last week. I finished. Oh, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Either way, at the same time, there are spoiler alerts a little bit right here, but at the same time, these two characters are pivotal characters in the Star Wars saga. They both existed outside of the show
Yeah, that's true.
Mandalorian.
That's true.
In fact, both of them are very, if anything, they're more involved with the Clone Wars stuff.
Yeah, and that's where they're both huge in the Clone Wars.
And do you watch like the animated ones?
No,
at all?
I
Okay.
well,
Neither do I.
I started it. I got about 3 or 4 episodes in, and I shut it down.
Wasn't your bag, baby?
No, I just had other stuff going on.
All right. Okay. What do you want to do?
So, we did a Mandalorian season 1, Fat. So season 2, they introduced a few new characters. We're gonna just do the 2 that we thought were most relevant to the story.
Okay.
Which would be Boba Fett. Do you think that's where they came up with the
My name
boba balls?
My name
The
Bubba.
ice cream treat? You know what the bobas?
Maybe.
The boba, the little pea-looking things that explode in your mouth when you put them on ice cream at froyo places.
Do you think
Is it called bobas?
Boba Fett likes Bubba Gump shrimp?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bubba.
I don't know.
So
Bobas? Is that what they're called? No, they're called like, it's a J in there, isn't it? Isn't there a J in there?
no,
No? All right. I'm going to look it up. Keep going.
and then
Boba Fett.
Ahsoka Tano,
Boba tea. Bubble tea.
the Jedi that was in an episode, maybe in
Ahsoka.
episode 2. Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka. Yeah.
So, where do you want to start?
I want to start with Ahsoka.
Okay.
So she's a Jedi.
Yeah.
At some point, that means she was a Padawan. So at some point,
She was an FI-trained student.
she was a student.
Yeah.
But she had to be worthy to be a student. So I think she was like a really high level internship athletic training student at some point.
That's a good place to start because you have to be selected to get into the pro. I mean, you have to be selected.
Yeah.
Like, not just like you have to apply and interview, but like they have to go out and reach you, be like, hey, we see something in you. You get recruited to this.
Let's go sidebar. What the hell did anybody ever see in Luke? It was like, oh, you're going to be the savior of everything.
Man.
He's just a whiny little kid living on freaking Tatooine or whatever, right?
The whiny guy?
Yeah.
The whiny guy who made an appearance at
whiny
the end
little-
of the season?
Shh.
Spoiler.
whisper-
I
what
didn't say any names.
So, you know what? I saw that spoiler
Yeah.
accidentally, and so it totally killed it a little bit for me.
Okay, so she's a Jedi.
She's a Jedi.
So she's good-natured to begin with.
But she also clearly, so she was a student that became a Jedi. So she is very apt at learning.
Correct.
And she develops skill very well. She had a troubled past apparently, but I didn't know about.
She was in training, and as Dave's point, Dave's all over this. She did leave because she had some reservations about it.
Yeah.
Because they accused her of, I think,
Something like
bombing
bombing
something.
yeah,
and then she was framed. Yeah.
But then I think, but she's still clearly.
She's force sensitive, isn't she,
yes.
Dave? Force sensitive, close enough.
That's a good way to describe it. She's force sensitive. She uses the force still. She's still freaking kicking people's ass with lightsabers and stuff,
She
right?
made her own lightsabers
Yeah.
with her crystals.
I think she I read somewhere that she freaking defeated Darth Maul or whatever
Yeah, I think she did with,
by using 2 lightsabers. Luke, 1 freaking.
So anyways, okay, so she's critically thinking enough. She's questioning the Jedi Order.
And
So that's kind of like an
Dave brings
athletic
up-
trainer like myself when I said, we talked about this, like you can't just follow blindly.
No.
Like for
Especially
us,
when
it's,
Anakin's your freaking leader.
right? You're thinking about ice. Why do we do it?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. I'm thinking about unstable surface training. Can't get behind it. She's thinking Jedi Order. I don't know if I can follow this like blindly. Maybe I should do my own thing and become a clone or like,
Definitely don't become a clone.
yeah,
You don't want to be a clone.
yeah, that's true.
And you end up
Clone
like all the other
trooper,
guys.
yeah. Anyways, so she can think on her own.
Yeah.
She's not just following blindly.
No.
There's some points there.
Yeah. And then in Mandalorian, I mean, she helps out Mando by saying, hey, I'm not really who you think maybe I am, but I know where you can find people like me that will take care of said kid.
Grogu.
You know? So
how about this? How about being able to talk to the thing, communicate with that athlete that you're like, I have no idea what you're saying, but I understand.
Well, I'm saying like
communication skills on
uses
point.
her resources and her past experiences to benefit others. Right? So therefore it's like, hey, I don't know what's going on with my athlete. And I go, Chad, you know, you were my CI at some point. How would you handle this? I mean, that's real.
Yeah. All right. What else we got in her? Good hand-eye coordination?
Yeah, of course. She's an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
Would anything like her...
You know what?
Is that going to get in the way at all? Or, you know what?
No.
Does she have to, like... Is there any maintenance with that? Would that get in the way? You're never wearing a hat, so that's good.
Maybe it helps prevent sunburn.
Maybe.
How about this? Of all the Jedi, she seems very stealthy.
Yeah.
Like, blend into the background, like a little spy action.
It's because she's that solo act.
Yeah.
Would you rather wear Jedi type robes? And I know she's not a Jedi, but like the garb robes.
Yeah.
Or polos and khakis.
For sure, I'd rather wear a garb.
Would you rather walk around with a hood all the time?
100%. 100%. 100 out of 100 days. I'd rather wear anything. I love hoods.
I mean, they are good, especially this hoodie.
Yeah.
This hoodie's really good. Yeah, let's go on to Boba.
Get yours now. Okay, so here he's a hunter. Means he's got a task and he's going to set out and he's going to get it done.
Yes.
He's a bounty hunter. He's like
now, but
I can't even hold up the damn sweatshirt right so you can see it.
It's because you're an idiot.
Keep talking.
Okay, so Boba Fett. You're right. He's a bounty hunter, so therefore, task-oriented person, clone, apparently. Now he does need some sort of reward for what he's doing.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yes.
Is anybody doing this for free? A lot of us feel like it. I know we feel like it, but we're not.
I mean, we're not doing it for free.
Unless you're maybe a GA intern.
I think that's one of our biggest complaints, though, right? Is that it's the reward of the job is really only the inner personality, like, you know, the connections with your athletes and getting somebody back to the field and this and that. It's not really everything else. Now, I will say I had a lot of superficial rewards in my career from even just, I get to forever say that I played catch with a major league athlete on a major league field. Like it's just so cool that like I can't wait to be a grandpa being able to say that kind of stuff, right? But the other side of athletic training, the real side of athletic training of being like not very physically rewarding, like, hey, you got somebody through this ACL rehab and I really needed that, so here's an extra bag of money. Like, that's the life of a bounty hunter. I'm going after the hard bounty because it's going to pay me more. It's tough, but not at the same time task-oriented. He gets the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something bad that he's a clone, do you think?
Cash-based services. Maybe he's advanced.
You think it's weird that he's a clone of his dad?
Mm-hmm. No.
No? Is there something strange about, instead of being an offspring, you're a clone?
No, that's what it is. I think it's the same thing. Maybe not, but
I don't know.
It's on the same scale.
It is. It's just a weird scale. What else do I have?
All right, the jetpack.
So obviously,
the jetpack is super friggin' cool. Let's be honest.
Well, and that
if
was
you could have a jetpack
plus.
and just get over there.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. He has gadgets, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is going to have the tools for the job. He's going to be able to jetpack wherever he wants. I mean, he's probably got some sort of device just that will, I don't know, expedite healing in some sort, right? Like wound care. I'm sure there's something that he can use. Doesn't even Mando like have like a, I know it's probably like freezing or like ice, but like to cauterize something. You can just quick, right? He's got the gadgets, a lot of them, the armor. I also have, I think this is important. So most of us, if you don't know the whole story of Boba Fett, most of us remember him as the bounty hunter that worked for Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, going
right?
after Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jabba the Hutt is an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. Boba just did his job. Like, you want me to get him? I'll go get him. Whatever I need to do the job. What I'm saying is
Jabba the Hutt the coach or the athletic director?
I don't know.
Or the
I don't know.
the GM?
But he just does his job, right? And he maintains his job. In fact, Jabba the Hutt grows to say, like, no, I need you at all times. Like, you're going to be my bounty hunter. And so, therefore, he's really good at working with that really hard to work with boss.
I'm having a hard time.
That's a really good quality for an athletic trainer.
Yeah. Being able to just take the poop. I'll eat the poop.
I'll eat the poop.
I'll eat the cat poop.
He also...
How about, hold on. When you say Jabba the Hutt,
I think
doesn't part
Pizza
of
the Hut.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Part of me wants to just think Pizza the Hut. But we're on the same page.
I only think of Pizza the Hut.
Oh, shit.
In fact,
I'm a mog.
I think most of my life I called Jabba the Hutt Pizza the Hut.
Really?
Well, because I saw Spaceballs probably. If I've seen every Star Wars, like the main feature films, 5 times, I've seen Spaceballs 30 times.
Oh, it's so good. You have anything else written down there for the Boba? Boba balls. They're Boba balls.
Boba, yeah, you're right. But I think it's like it's a play on bubble.
Yeah.
So he not only collects money when there is money owed to him for doing his job, but he also pays his debts. It's kind of like I know Boba Fett's not like a true Mandalorian, but it's kind of this is the way. They always, if you help them, they repay the debt. I think athletic trainers are very, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You know,
it's a great call.
The athletic trainer that comes in, they're a visiting athletic trainer. You know, they forgot something. You scratch my back. When you come back,
I'll get you some crutches, ACL brace, whatever you need.
Then, you know, you went above and beyond, and so I got you, you know, whatever, I bought you Starbucks this morning or something. So I think that's a very athletic trainer quality. I'm good, and then I'm done.
All right.
I'm exhausted.
At the end of your day, or just from all
that? No,
that
was a lot.
Oh.
That was a lot.
All right, so now that you got to choose one.
I'm Boba Fett.
You're choosing Boba Fett.
Yep.
I'm gonna disagree.
You know what? I think one more.
All right.
Boba Fett's got the vision thing that goes in front of his helmet.
Okay.
And I guarantee
Iron Man?
I guarantee you could get some infrared thermography on that. And it could be like, boom, temperature check, done.
I think it does read temperatures.
Absolutely.
Man, that's cool. I'm going to go with the instinct of Ahsoka, Tano, and the Jedi, the Padawan.
She's pretty badass.
I think athletic training is a lot more feel, even though we want to make it a lot more science. I know that's the way it's trending, but there's still a feel to it, an instinct to it, and
don't lose the feel,
an ability to just kind of navigate people. That's always going to be a feel. May the force be with you. I don't even know what that means.
And with you.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Ahsoka.
Okay. Ahsoka. Well, then all we have is FMK.
Yep.
So should we even do an FMK if Dylan's not here?
No.
You know what, though? So on last episode, you said next week we'll talk about
I know.
ice bags.
I know.
Frozen peas. We'll just do it real quick.
No, we can save it for next week. We said in the next couple weeks. We said in the next couple episodes. We'll do it. We'll do it. We can't use up.
I just think more. I think more people want to talk about your balls.
We can talk about my balls next week. Unfortunately,
It's actually, you know what? I wish everybody could see those because that's what his balls looked like for like 2 days.
you want me to grab the blue ball?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so Dylan, as a member of the Candid
Family.
family, we'll call it that, you do get priority show topic suggestions.
Yes, you do.
And he wanted us to do it as fat. We've turned it into an FMK.
We did. Sorry.
We just felt it slid in here a little bit easier. That's what she said. We're going to do car, SUV, truck.
Or car, truck, SUV.
Or truck, SUV, car.
What do you drive?
Right now?
Yeah.
It's an SUV.
Okay. What would you have called my previous vehicle?
I call it an SUV.
Okay. Me too.
For me, a truck has a bed.
That's what I think too.
It has to have. Now, what do you think about my previous vehicle?
A truck. Because it had an exposed bed.
Okay, that's interesting because I would have called it an SUV though.
So, there's plenty of 4-door trucks out there, and you're essentially that's all you were driving, a 4-door truck, but it was based on an SUV. That's where Ford was trying to, win. Sweaty balls. I was gonna call Hannah out if she better have said that's what she said first, but
no, I got there.
she definitely got there though.
Yeah.
Okay, car, truck, SUV, go for it.
I think
At FMKM.
I think you have to.
What was your first car?
Very first car ever?
Was it the Explorer Sport?
No. My very first car was a 1984 two-door Fiero.
Really?
Yeah, a little.
You had a Ferrari?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A little Fiero.
Oh my God. You were driving around in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Um,
Good for you, Pete.
It was a bad car to be 16 years old in Wisconsin.
Ooh, yeah.
I spun out
Yeah.
so many times.
Definitely.
I ended up in the ditch half dozen times. Man, it was tough.
At the same time, it was the 80s. I mean,
No,
like,
it wasn't.
no, I mean,
The 90s. Oh, the car was made in the 80s.
Yeah.
I was driving it in the 90s.
well, I guess, yeah, you were. It was
93 is when I
93.
turned 16.
It was not a very good time to not have a bad winter car. I mean,
Yeah.
think of how many all-wheel drive cars were available at that time. Not many.
Yeah.
You would have had to pay an arm and a leg,
Yeah.
or you had to drive a truck.
Yeah.
Like SUVs were just becoming something that like, and even a lot of the SUVs were not 4-wheel drive equipped at that time. They were rear-wheel drive trucks. Like they were based on rear-wheel drive vehicles. They just didn't have 4-wheel drive. And
So, were you 16 in 2001?
yes.
What was your first car?
Pontiac Grand Am GT. Purple.
Grand Am, yeah. Purple.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Really?
Paid straight cash for. Well, I wrote a check, but paid cash for
money.
it. Manual transmission. Had 63,000 miles on it.
I've actually never not paid cash for a car.
I know you haven't. That's why you like are rich as can be.
No, it's because I just get as many used cars as possible.
No, it's because you're like,
I
why
try-
would I pay? Why would I have a bill? Why don't I just pay for the car?
Well, that's true. But I
You're
also
smarter than the average bear. Is
no.
what you're saying.
What I do is I get shitty cars because I don't
I mean,
care. I just don't care.
I'm gonna say this. It's not like it's
Very
not like
average.
you're driving around in like a brand new car all the time. Even
No,
your car now is
the
getting
next
pretty old.
The next vehicle is gonna be a good vehicle.
I'm
though.
sure. All of a sudden everything changed. You had a kid.
Yeah, I gotta do things
Now
right.
you're like, wait, what's a safety rating?
I don't
Should
care
there be
about that.
airbags places?
Yeah.
Could I attach something? I should probably make sure my car starts.
Should I get a
every morning.
minivan? Would you guys answer that right now? If you're on the live stream,
First off, you're gonna have one kid.
Ed, what are you driving now? I know you got one.
Ooh.
All right, we got a 2004, a 91 Toyota Corolla.
Ed, I'll beat you on this one. I think
Manual transmission.
I learned and had to drive a 93 Toyota Tercel most of my teenage years. I didn't buy my first car until I was 18. But man, that thing, I don't even know if you could get it to 60 miles an hour.
It
took forever.
Should I get a minivan? Should I get a minivan? Should Chad?
No.
I don't. That doesn't mean I'm gonna.
Who's been telling you to get a minivan?
I'm a dad.
Dude.
Just
of one kid.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
You know
but
what?
It'll be good. It'll be good on the social media.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'd be so mad if you got a minivan.
Before I answer this FMK.
We're doing FMK still?
I got to know, is the truck bed covered or not? It's going to make a huge difference.
Well, what do you mean?
The bed of the truck.
Oh, in the FMK. No. I'm going to say the truck bed is uncovered.
Okay, then I have to kill it.
Okay.
I'm killing it. If it's uncovered, it's useless. It's dead to me.
Okay.
Because in my situation where I am taking to the field every day.
In your situation?
I have to have something that is weatherproof.
Okay.
So I have to kill an open bed truck if the bed is covered. Now that makes it worse sometimes for like getting stuff in and out when the bed's covered and you like.
Yeah.
But so I have to kill the truck.
Okay.
And so that I'll have to marry the SUV because size matters.
Ooh.
Right, Hannah? And
so I mean, but there's small SUVs out there. A lot of small SUVs.
You just don't choose those. You get to pick who you marry too. This is not always.
I don't think so.
This is not mail order.
It's fate.
Yeah.
Fate chooses.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Good call on that. And I'll F with the car because if I have to make it work, I'll force everything in there. But take over because that's where I'm going with this thing.
Never said that to you in your life.
No, never. But that's where I'm going.
We're getting tons of car comments here. I love it.
So that's what I'm doing. Sorry, marrying the SUV, killing the truck.
Nate, good for you. Well,
it hasn't popped up over here.
Okay, Nate, you had an '89 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme back in 2002. What I want to know, Nate, was that after. My mom had an 86 Cutlass Supreme. So that was two-door, V8 engine, like amazing vehicle. Like the mid-80s Cutlass Supreme, Monte Carlo, Buick Regal, like they all had that same frame. I want to know if an 89 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme looked like that or if it was the four-door, now we're talking about your grandma's like car that nobody really wanted to drive. At the same time, you could really take all your friends everywhere. And Dave, we've talked about that before. The fact that your dad had an Alpha, an 87 Alpha freaking Spider, that's special. That is a special vehicle to be able to drive as a young lad.
Nice.
Anywho, I am going to, so it's tough. Can my car count?
Your current vehicle?
Yeah, my car.
I would just call it a car.
My car is a car.
Yeah.
It's so difficult because my car is a hatchback, so I don't need the SUV. But there's part of me that wants the truck, just because I could haul more. But if I wanted to haul more, I don't need the SUV. The SUV is kind of like, hey, I'm going to be a catch-all. Catch everything by effing. This is really tough.
Stumped him.
This is tough for me, Dylan. I'm going to marry the car. I'm going to F the truck, and I'm going to kill the SUV. Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Effing the truck.
I'm going to F the truck because every once in a while you just need, not even like your SUV. Like for me, I wouldn't appreciate putting coolers and all that crap in the back of my SUV. I would want that on a protected bed, like with a bed liner, like not just hanging out in the back of my SUV, sloshing around, getting the back of my SUV all wet, like then dirt. Like I'd rather that be in the back of a truck, even if it's uncovered, because if I do have to travel with it, latch it in there and just, nobody's going to steal anything. But if I could have a car that is just my everyday vehicle, I'd rather do that than drive around an SUV. I'm not a huge fan of SUVs. I think they serve the purpose. I think when I have a family, I will have a big SUV of some sort, but I hope it's my wife's.
Sure.
So that I can always have the car. I just enjoy driving her car more. But every once in a while, I just like driving a truck. And I think that's what I like driving my Jeep, is because
Felt like a truck.
It felt like a truck, even though it wasn't a truck. It's an SUV.
Yeah. You're just
But
up. You're up
there
high.
was zero practical like SUV-ness about it. Like it's not like I could fit more stuff in it.
No.
It was just literally higher and slower, and you could make the freaking transmission and then go into 4-wheel drive. It was awesome. Marry car, F the truck. Oh, you know what? And you can, I don't know, put a mattress in the back of the truck and, do some effing. And then the SUV I'm just going to kill. I'm not a dad yet. How about that?
I'm not a dad yet, he says.
I'll be a dad one day.
I found a baby before.
Oh, God.
Do we have anything else
I don't
before we hit our feature topic? So
Maybe.
we know that this is on a little bit of a delay.
Minivans are badass. Hannah.
I know. So we're doing a superhero. So if there's a superhero you want us to talk about as we get into this, let us know in the comments here, okay?
Let us know.
And go. Oh, you're going.
Can anybody hear that?
I could.
Okay.
So Kevin had a really fun idea a couple weeks back. We haven't done any superhero talk in.
First time for everything.
Shut up. We always talk about superheroes and how great they are. But Kevin you thought, well, there's some superheroes that need some work. So let's talk about some superheroes. And if we were their athletic trainer, what recommendations, what HEPs are we putting them on?
HEPs.
Yeah.
In their Fortress of Solitude.
So, okay, you came up with, off the bat, the first one you thought of. Go ahead. Explain it to them.
The reason I came up with this is because I was watching. Where are you going?
gotta
of
get some
Steel.
water.
Oh, we'll see it. So I was watching Man of Steel and the newer movie of Superman, and it was clear as day to me that, like, number one, the actor, like, imagine how long he had to, like, put his hands above his head and pretend like he was flying. But then two, Superman has to do that very often. And he just looks stiff as can be. And, like, he actually wasn't, like, it was more this, like, his hands were here, but then, like, he was just compensating everywhere in order to get his hands above his head. So I was thinking, man, this guy really, like, Superman needs some freaking shoulder mobility.
All low back.
Like, yeah, he's just cranking on his back instead of actually getting his hands above his head. So it got me thinking, like, if I was an athletic trainer to the superheroes, what would I work on with them? And Superman, number one, mobility.
Shoulder mobility.
Specifically his shoulders. But it got me thinking, like, when was the last time you saw, I mean, we've all seen Spider-Man, curl himself into a pretzel, right? But Superman's just he's very unidirectional, right? He punches, right? He just goes up, flies. I don't even know. Have you ever even seen him like kick somebody?
He doesn't have to. He just blows on them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't think that guy has.
So is this a Superman problem or the actors that they've had portray him
No,
look
it's
stiff?
it's a Superman problem.
Okay, all
It's
right.
a Superman problem. There is zero mobility that is involved in Superman.
So you brought that up, and then the first person I thought of, to be honest, was Hawkeye.
Okay.
I thought
What do you got
Hawkeye
on him?
won.
I got some on him.
I want to know what his Snell and eye chart reading is. I want to know how far away that guy
What's
can
yours?
see. I think technically 20 over 20/40 in one eye and 20/50 in the other eye.
But you don't wear glasses?
I mean, they recommended it.
Classic athletic trainer.
Well,
I mean, my hip hurts, and
I
I've got
think
people around me, but
in
whatever.
Wisconsin, you need to have one eye better than 20/50 for it to not be required on your driver's license. So I have one eye that's good enough.
You're relying on the government to tell you what's right and what you should be doing. You're
Maybe not recently. we try to stay out of politics here.
get some glasses, Chad,
Oh shit.
or go get contacts. What are your thoughts on
I
contacts?
had them for about a year, and it's
Did you
just
really?
too much work. Yeah. And to be honest, once I'm like, it's just going from like, I say like so much. God dang it. From nearsighted to farsighted, I'm trying to adjust. I have to like really concentrate. And once my eyes have adjusted, they're usually fine.
So
But it's just going, if I'm changing the depth.
So what do you think Hawkeye is?
I bet you he is 20.
If you could read the bottom line of the Snell and eye chart, what's your
On 20, he's got to be 21, 20 over 1.
You would think, right?
I always have to think it's the top number is I can see from 20 feet what a normal person can only see from X.
Correct. That's exactly what it is.
He's got to be 20
So it
times
says
better.
The best recorded vision in humans is 20/10 vision.
Yeah. So I'm going to put him at 20, 25, 22, maybe 20 over 2.
20 over 5 means you can see things from 20 feet, blah, 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 that normal people can see from 5. I'm going to go there.
25?
I'm going he has better eyesight than any human ever.
Okay.
I'm going that somewhere in his gene pool lives an eagle or a falcon,
for sure.
or maybe a falcon.
Ooh, Falcon.
Ooh.
So the other thing about Hawkeye, though, other than the vision, I was just curious about that. For sure,
Yeah, he doesn't need any work on his vision.
Apley's scratch test.
Yep.
And I am buying him for Christmas. He's getting a set of Indian clubs. He is for sure getting Indian clubs and working on scapular mobility.
Keep it up. He's got to keep it up.
I think that's the first thing I thought of.
I
when you
guarantee
thought of this.
his right side is so mobile, but his left side, I bet, is terrible.
Do we need to do a Hunger,
you think-
Hunger
like-
Games?
Yeah,
I
like,
just thought Jennifer Lawrence.
have we done a Hunger Games?
No.
I don't think we've done Hunger Games. My thing with Hawkeye, I also have Hawkeye. Two things. I want to make sure that his right shoulder still has some stability left in it, right?
Why?
Because very often he's got to be here, right?
Okay.
So he's got to be stable, right?
Okay.
This one's going to be stable. That one's stable. But then two, he better have a Mark Pro to go home with that night. He's going to... You do this a million times fighting.
His traps or his
Taking
rhomboids and
I guarantee this shoulder is blown out.
yeah.
He needs some recovery there.
Okay.
So he better get a Mark Pro.
Give me another one. Give me another superhero you thought of here.
Batman.
Oh.
What do you got? What first thing that comes to mind? Batman.
Wound care.
Wound care. That's a good one.
He's gonna.
Constantly getting in fights.
I mean, what was you said? You guys use a particular something for bruises. He's always bruised up.
Polymems.
Yeah,
Yeah, lots of polymems, and he could afford them. They're expensive.
yeah.
My thought process is core stability. First and foremost, at some point, Bane is going to come by and break his back.
Again,
Like there's actually from my childhood. That's like I remember when that comic book, the first time I saw that comic book, like Bane was like had him over his knee, breaking his back. Because hopefully he maintains that throughout his entire life, because at some point he's going to have a long rehab ahead of him.
long.
The other thing I thought about was he gets old, right?
Quickly.
Yeah. So how can we maintain his athleticism? Maybe he just needs some like old man calisthenics. Like he just needs to be on
Just
a program.
a general stretch.
Every morning, you're going to wake up, you're going to do 50 jumping jacks, you're going to do some high knees, you're going to do this. I mean,
A lot of yoga and Pilates.
yep, sure. Absolutely. What do you got? Give me somebody.
I mean, I know we both had Flash, and for
Blisters?
me, I was just thinking blisters. Yeah. Although, honest to God, if you watch, I think Grant Gustafson does a little bit better job running than the guy than Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
But Jesus,
Bad
some
running
gait
form.
training,
Yeah. I don't know how
tough. Now that's an actor specific thing.
it is, but you better have. See, I had.
If I'm the Flash, you just need to really be efficient.
I also had recovery boots for Flash.
Oh, good call.
I mean, get in those. You've been using those legs all day, buddy. Get in some recovery boots.
Okay, but
some compression boots, Normatec, whatever. Get the feet up.
hold on.
Yeah.
We've talked about this at least once before.
Huh.
Well, it was episode 1. When we started this show, this was our first guy. It was
Yeah.
Flash Superman.
Yep.
Why would you put him in the Normatex when he can just do?
Yeah,
he
no,
can
no.
just massage himself with a little tampotment. If you can,
because then again he's using energy on himself and he just needs
That's okay.
more recovery. No, it's not.
that's what he is. He is Mr. Ultimate Recovery.
No.
His body recovers like 100 times faster than the normal.
Yes, it does. But what if he's going 200 times more than anybody else at saving people?
Okay. All right.
Okay. You're gonna have to create a work to rest ratio for
All right,
Flash.
All right.
You know?
I got it. Did
I'm
you have
just
anything
saying.
else on them, or just the blisters and the?
I mean, blisters is going to be the biggest one.
All right.
I will say overuse injuries. I mean, he runs in 1 second what any of us can run in a year, right? So whatever we can accrue on our body, like, so therefore, again, you better make sure that maybe he needs some orthotics.
I was just gonna ask. Do you think he's got some orthotics in
Maybe
there?
he
Some
needs
custom?
orthotics. That's who I would want him in orthotics. Even if he doesn't need them, I want him in it. Because when he gets fatigued, I want him in a nice, stable platform.
What are you gonna make those out of? Because he's gonna break them
I don't
down.
know. I'd have to ask my buddy.
Would that have to be out of?
I wouldn't want hard. I wouldn't want a hard, rigid orthotic. Soft, pliable.
So what do you want? Flubber?
Nope. Cork. Cork works really well.
Cork that doesn't break down at that speed.
And that's what I don't know. Cork would break down at that speed.
Orange slices. I want to see if this
Anybody
works.
have any orange slices?
See, I gotta. Anyways,
So, next, Deadpool. He can heal
Ooh,
himself. He
Deadpool.
can heal himself, yes. It's true. Ultimate healing power. But what's your first thing?
regeneration.
Yeah, he can regenerate like the best of them.
What does he need?
Yeah.
Swimax. Isn't it? Wasn't it the kind of pool?
Yeah.
No,
You
I
put
don't.
a
I don't know.
current-
What does he need?
So I think he needs wound care. And this is why. Is because he has no regard for the fact that he will get shot a million times. He doesn't care because he heals. Mm-hmm. But if at some point, like he's gonna get, a shotgun blast that goes straight through his stomach, and it's just gonna take a little bit longer to heal. Or he gets his arm cut off, and then it takes forever for that little hand to show up. Right?
The nub.
Like, I think constantly he should have a little bit of wound care around him, just so he can expedite his healing process. I think it'd be great.
I agree. Next one I had, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that he's got really good finger mobility for a lot of those spells.
I mean, he's always using his hands.
I mean, it looks like he's throwing gang signs
all the time.
All the time. Like, how does he open the trinkets?
Yeah.
So let's get him some finger webs. Or what other stuff did you guys use?
No, I like the finger webs, but I like for extension. My number one thing I tell everybody is that they don't
extend enough.
Everybody does this.
We have a wrist.
Everybody's
we have an imbalance of the elbow.
In balance, he says.
Cobra. That's an inside joke with one of my baseball coaches.
What would you do for the Hulk?
Oh, we talked about his quads. We need stretchy pants. We got to make sure that Hannah gets him some of those hiking pants she was talking about last week.
Hannah, I know you don't want to admit that you have cargo pants, but we need you to get the Hulk that link to those stretchy pants, so that
golf pants.
He's not always busting through his pants. Maybe
Quadzilla over here.
Save some pants every once in a while. He's got to figure that out.
All right, what did you have for him though?
Breathing.
Oh yeah.
He needs to freaking calm down.
Yeah. He needs some.
Thinking a little
Wim Hof,
little meditative breathing patterns. Maybe he could have become awkward Bruce Banner Hulk mashup in Endgame much earlier in life. I don't know. Or instead of always being angry, he could have always been calm and then turned down the anger. I don't know.
What is Dave saying here?
What did Dave say?
Hulk needs a Tuesday?
He needs a TUE, therapeutic use exemption. So it's like...
Oh, it means get out of jail?
Kind of.
Get out of sport?
It's more like... it's your... you got the authority to use testosterone because you have low T as an athlete.
Got it.
Or
okay,
a lot of the stimulants and things like that are going around in athletics everywhere. He definitely needs a TUE because gamma radiation, I guarantee, is on the banned substance list.
You had Thor.
I didn't have Thor. I looked up Thor's injuries.
Oh, you said the eye.
So the eye comes
I got
up.
poked out.
He just freaking loses an eye. So imagine. First of all, imagine trying to throw a hammer with only one eye. So I think he's going to need a lot of this, eye training, Dave. You might be Thor's best friend. In order to actually, learn new depth perception, he's going to have to learn how to aim at things without using both eyes. He's going to only, what if his right eye wasn't his, or what was his, right or his left? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Either one. What if it wasn't his dominant eye? What if it was his non-dominant eye? Does all of a sudden is Thor just useless throwing his hammer? He can get the hammer anytime he wants.
Yeah.
But when he throws it in the axe, that's why he hit the chest and he didn't cut off the head. He only had the one eye at the time, I think, right?
Yeah, he did.
Nah, he had the two eyes at the time.
No,
Ratchet gave him the eye, and then they went to the star that was dead.
Right.
Yeah. He had both eyes.
Ratchet,
right?
No, Ratchet is Transformers.
What's his name?
Rocket.
Oh my god, same, right?
Yeah.
But he kind of the same kind of. Well, he was. No, Rocket was he was made. Anyway, I guess somewhere in Thor's history, he loses an arm. Somebody rips one of his arms off. Could you imagine how strong you have to be to rip off one of Thor's arms?
Well, speaking of, that was the last character I had down was Winter Soldier.
I like this one.
He's going to need a full shoulder rehab program here.
Well, talk about, mean, what's the,
Everything. He's going to need everything. Shoulder down. That's going to be one hell of a rehab.
how is the integration of that arm to his nervous system? I mean, it's somewhere in there. They're tapping into his real nervous system. But holy cow!
Yep.
Batman.
Ed just called it. Going back to Batman in Dark Knight Rises, his physical. He had a physical. Doctor tells him he has no cartilage in both knees, and then all he does is put on the braces, and you can hear it like the grinding. And let's just get on with it. Good call there.
Yeah. No, remember, like he puts on those braces, and all of a sudden he kicks through a brick wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
That's awesome.
It's a good call.
I want those braces. If you were a trillionaire, you could have those knee braces. I mean, they're just deloader braces, right? They're just fancy deloaders. And you probably don't even know you probably never even experienced a deloader. It just tries to open up the space a little bit.
No, my dad just asked me about one because he was supposed to.
Yeah.
He was supposed to get one this last year.
Yeah. Some people love them, some people hate them, just because they're wearing a brace all the time. But I think, man, just Don Joy. You know what? That was a missed opportunity for Don Joy. You could have been in, The Dark Knight Rises,
right?
Advertising right there. Get to Batman. And then if you would have gotten to the, what's his face Batman, Ben Affleck. Well, he never complained about his knees.
No, he complained about everything else. He just
I'm
needed.
I'm old, Alfred.
Yeah.
Needs a drink is what he needs.
I think that's all he was doing.
I think so too. Well, no, he was like hitting the bag and swinging a hammer, flipping tires and stuff in that first movie. I think Batman vs Superman, because he was trying to bulk up so he could be like Superman. Who else you got? Anybody?
No, that was my list. Winter Soldier was last on my list.
I really think
I'm sure there's a ton out there. We could, come up with more, but
I think it's just fun to think about.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Like, what if? I mean,
well, and that's
who would you rather be an athlete? Okay, so who's your?
Well, Hannah wants to work with freaking Star-Lord here.
I'd work with Star-Lord 24/7, and she had hearts for eyes.
Emoji. Lusting. I wanted to say Paul Rudd, but that's Ant-Man. It's why can't I think of the actor's name?
Dave?
That played
Hannah?
What the hell? He was in Park and Rec.
Yep.
His name was Andy. Well, I'm blanking here.
I'm blanking too. Ben. No.
I don't know.
Brian.
Somebody's gonna.
George.
They're gonna tell me.
Phil.
It'll pop up in just 1 second.
It will pop up in a second.
So who? Yeah, who do you?
Okay, so Star-Lord. Is there anything you could think of for Star-Lord? He shoots.
Hip mobility.
Shoots his gun.
Dancing.
He's always tapping behind his ear to get his helmet thing on. You brought up like anybody that wears a helmet.
Yeah,
particularly your Iron Mans, your
neck.
I mean,
thank you, Chris Pratt. Jesus Christ. So many Chris's.
I'm an idiot. If you're spending so much time in that helmet, I mean, you're not going to have your mobility.
Yeah, you just need to work on that afterwards.
Everyone knows this. Chris Pratt. Yeah. Not us. You guys try to be on the spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to like
try to be
9 different things. It's fine. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I suck. Okay, so if you got to choose one that you'd most like to work with here.
Okay, I want it. Yes. I was going to say, who would be if you could work with any athlete of all time, who would it be?
If I could work with any athlete?
Any athlete of any era, any time, I mean, any sport.
Because of an injury or
just whatever.
Watching them like do their...
Doesn't matter. Just whatever comes to mind.
Well, why don't you go first and tell me why, and I'll get on the same page here.
Tiger Woods.
Because of how dominant he was? Oh, yeah, we talked about this
multiple
early.
reasons. I think what held him back was his personal life. But I think later at that same time in his career, and then when he was coming back, it was his back, it's his knee, it's all these injuries that he had. I think, granted, he probably had wonderful therapists and things that were working with him, but I would have liked to have my hand in that cookie jar in order to see if I could have kept him on track to becoming truly the best golfer that anybody's ever seen? Do you have anybody that comes to mind? You can say anybody. There's no pressure. Chris Pratt. Say Chris.
No, if there's an injury that you're like, man, it would be cool to see if I could.
Sure. How about that?
Bo Jackson.
Yeah, there you go. Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson would be a fun, like, hey, can we make this hip work?
Yes. Yeah, perfect example. Okay.
But if I just wanted to work with someone just to watch them do what they do,
Okay. Yeah.
it's probably Barry Sanders.
Okay. Barry Sanders.
Because
Maybe the reason he
people
stopped
don't
is
move like that.
yeah, and
Holy Christmas.
maybe the reason he stopped is because he was like, I lost 5% of how I move, and that's who I am.
Yeah.
Not like I don't know. Maybe he had other reasons.
Okay,
But
now I want you to choose one of these superheroes.
yes. Oh. I want to say Batman, but he's really difficult. But would he listen? He might listen to you. Deadpool would be really fun to work with. I'm going to go Batman. Because I think I could gain his trust, and then I'd be his guy. I'd be his guy. What do you got? We all know Flash is your favorite superhero.
Yeah.
Batman's probably my favorite superhero too, though. But Flash is kind of, I don't know. To me, I was going to say Flash from the standpoint of like,
Just
I like the Flash.
Gait analysis is kind of fun.
Okay.
Like it's a nerd thing, but I would actually probably, this one I'm probably choosing Hawkeye because I like shoulder mobility too and like some of the back stuff.
I like Hawkeye.
I didn't. The first time I watched those movies, I hated them.
Well, yeah. The first Avengers, he's not, like the beginning of it, you're like, what? Not really liking this guy. By the end of it, I loved him. And then for the rest of the time, I liked him.
Oh, Nate's got a good fat hair. Chris Pratt characters.
Yeah. He's got tons of them.
We should.
He's got chubby Chris Pratt. He's got ripped Chris Pratt.
I don't know
He's
if
got
he was
funny
ever
Chris
ripped.
Pratt. I'm sure it's in some movie he got jacked.
Yeah.
They all
all
do.
do.
They all do. Talk about TUEs.
There
no.
you go.
Yeah.
So no Captain America on this. He's pretty good.
Well, he's got America's ass. We all know
It's
that's
America's
where it comes
ass.
from.
Glute exercises for days. As an athletic trainer, probably not, but maybe as a strength and conditioning person or a personal trainer, would you want to work with him or Chris Hemsworth?
Well, actually, at
Jesus.
100% Captain America.
Yeah.
Because,
Or
well, what do you mean?
Superman.
Do you mean the actors or do you mean the actual superhero?
I don't know.
Oh, because if it was
I'm stuck in between right now.
if it was the superhero, I would want to work with Captain America. Because what I think is cool about Captain America, as you watch
There's some performance enhancers there.
oh, for sure, but meaning he at times figures out that he's stronger than he is. Not even thinking about like Mjolnir or whatever, but just like as you get through the series of Captain America, all of a sudden he's not letting, he can freaking bicep curl a freaking helicopter all of a sudden, right? Like early on, you're like, this guy's superhuman strong, but you're like, he's not as strong as Thor. Like towards the end, you're like, I mean, you could give Thor a run for his money now.
Didn't The Rock do the same thing in one of the Fast and Furious movies, hang on to a helicopter?
Ooh, he probably did.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how strong he is.
Whoa.
That's The Rock. That's my best friend, dude. Him, Aaron Rodgers.
We have to have Aaron Rodgers on this show.
If anybody knows Aaron Rodgers, like we do, tell him to answer our text.
Okay. Should we shut this thing down? We've been going
Only if you want.
Almost an hour and a half.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Here we go.
thank you. Give these people a break. They've been dealing with us for 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
But that's what you get on a live stream. It's more fun because we're just interacting with you, the people. So if you want to join these lovely people that we've been talking to,
Yeah, if you want to get in on this comment section here, and if you want to get in on the fun, go to CanadaAthleticTraining.com, membership page, and get yourself a membership. I think Candymania is where we start at the memberships of getting the live access. We do have the Wet Your Whistle, which just basically gets you access to giving us suggestions for FMKs and fats and things like that, and we will put you to the front of the line. Otherwise, get that full Johnson, and then you'll get you'll get a nice discount as well. HealthyRoster.com.
Yeah, thanks to Healthy Roster.
Love
Thank you to everybody that's on the live stream. Everybody else, we'll see you next week. You'll hear this next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.